What's going on with Iowa State? What's going on? Where's everybody going? Everybody's leaving. Oh, we got 27th place. Oh, we're not invited to the Paycom duels. Oh, I'm so sad. Get out of here, boy. I told you guys stop playing with my boy. Stop playing with the GOAT. We got a lot to get into, so let's just get right into it. Big day for the Cyclones. Big day for Iowa State. You see it. You know the vibes. Let's get right into it. It was a big day for Iowa State. Rocky Elam and Isaac Dean are Iowa State Cyclones. Big time portal day back-to-back for Dresser and company. Let's check it all out. Okay, so I don't want to say this was like make or break for Iowa State. At least my expectations weren't make or break for this portal season, but it seemed to me like the general consensus was Iowa State was cooked. It was all over. Everybody's leaving, blah, 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 blah. To me, you guys saw the one video. I didn't really believe in it. I said, hey, listen, this portal is a long season. There's plenty of time to be made up, but it's been quite the good week for me. One, the number one ops, Oklahoma State, lost their coach, Thomas Gilman. He's out of here. It's like, who wants to even be over there anymore? He's going back to Penn State. He was over there for a year. He said, listen, this ain't the vibes. These people, there's something wrong with these people down here in Stillwater. He's going back to Pennsylvania, allegedly. But on top of that, the other day, I think it was Monday, Iowa State gets Isaac Dean in the portal. Now, I know what some of you guys are saying. You don't know who Isaac Dean is, and that's totally fine, because to be quite frank with you guys, I didn't know a whole lot about him either until this past season. And if you guys want to stay with me, we're going to check out his wrestle stat real quick. All right, so if you go to his wrestle stat, you can see right here in his freshman year when he redshirted, my boy was 2-4. Things weren't looking that great. The next year, a little bit of improvement. He gets 3 times the wins, 6-16. The following year, he doubles that, and last year was his breakout season where he was 25-8. Now, I know what you're saying. Are you just going to completely avoid the rest of his years? Well, I did some research and I tried to figure out why was he not so great in those first few years. Can't speak. I'm so excited. I did a little bit of research. It seems like my boy was injured a little bit, but that's fine because last year he had a completely healthy year and he had a breakout season, especially when he got to the Cliff Keen Invitational. As you see here, when he got to Cliff Keen, he went there and he lost to Dustin Plott. But if you look at the score, it's 2-0. Now, I know we don't do moral victories in wrestling, okay? Just because he lost a close match, that could happen to anybody. But he did have a win that put him on the map on the national scale when he beat Bennett Berge by a score of 4-3. And after that, Ryder went and wrestled Pittsburgh, where he knocked off Reese Heller by a score of 8-4, giving him another top 20 win in his career. He ends up winning the MAC championships when it got to the postseason, and when he got to NCAAs, my boy, it was time to shine. They don't call him Hollywood for no reason. In the first round, he got Ryder Rogotsky and he took his head off. After that, he lost to Edmund Ruth with another moral victory loss. Okay, he lost in overtime to Edmund Ruth, who is a complete baller. You guys know him. And eventually he would go on to lose on the backside to Dylan Fishback, who's a very quality wrestler from NC State. But the point remains here is this guy improved so much throughout his career that you have to assume his trajectory is going to keep going if Iowa State does their job, which I think that they will, especially because Hollywood Isaac Dean is going to be training with Rocky Elam. I can't say how much this news shocked me today. You know, when you look at some of the programs around the country that need a 197-pounder, 1-2 hours east of us is Iowa City in Iowa. Those guys need a 197-pounder. So when I saw Rocky Elam was going in the portal, I thought it was going to be a done deal. I thought this was going to be a complete money thing, NIL thing, whatever. And that's no shade to them. That's just the game, right? But I thought, man, it would be really cool to have Rocky Elam. There's probably no chance that we're going to get him because I thought that Iowa would try to meet what they need, especially because they didn't get AJ Ferrari, which who knows what happened there. They tried to get him in the past and it didn't work out, so I don't know if there's some sort of lingering thing with the administration there, but you would think that they would then set their sights on a guy like Rocky Elam, who was probably one of the biggest names in the portal, especially at the weight that Iowa needs. But Dresser and company, everybody said Dresser's cooked, Iowa State's mid, blah, 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 blah.
comes in there and he freaking steals Rocky Elam from conference rival Mizzou. Now, I got no smoke with Mizzou, okay? I wish that we stole him from Oklahoma State, but it doesn't matter. Rocky Elam is an Iowa State Cyclone. I couldn't be more excited about this. Guys, this is a 4-time All-American. This is a guy that has had battles with Younger Bastida. This is a guy that's going to make Younger Bastida and Isaac Dean better. This is a leader that you want on your program. This is huge news for Iowa State fans, and if you're an Iowa State fan like me, you gotta be excited. This is a guy that also talked about on the Bashamania show, where he announced his commitment that he's gonna stick around for a few years and train at Iowa State in the RTC. And we know that these are the kind of guys that you want sticking around your college athletes. With all that said, Rocky Elam has had some injuries. All right, he's been banged up in the past, but honestly, it's college wrestling. Who hasn't been banged up in the past? And on the Bashmania episode, he talked about one of the reasons why he wanted to go to Iowa State was because they mentioned that they are willing to work with him. They're going to make it work with his injuries. And you're probably wondering, like, what does that mean? My opinion is they're not going to put him through everything that everybody else goes through. I wouldn't be surprised to see him sit out some duels. You got to preserve this guy. He's a 5th-year senior, okay? The guy's been through it, all right? And I'd much rather see him wrestle at the end of the year than not at the end of the year, especially if you guys know how Iowa State season went last season when we had all these guys banged up, this and that. No one wants to talk about that, everybody wants to talk about 27th place, this and that, blah, 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 who cares? No one wants to talk about we had freaking half the roster on the freaking bench. So this season, I fully expect Iowa State to make the adjustments and get these guys to March. It's been a historically healthy team in the past. I don't know what happened last year. Maybe it was a punt year, all right? Maybe it was like, hey, let's just focus on next year. But nevertheless, huge news for Iowa State. Huge news for me, because I have been getting called the freaking R word all day long on Twitter from the last video. It's totally fine with me. You guys can call me that. But shout out to Kevin Dresser. Shout out to Iowa State. We're so freaking back. I'm so excited for Isaac Dean. I'm so excited for Rocky Elam. And who knows? Maybe they're not done. I know they've got some more visits coming up. I'm not going to get into it, but maybe they're not done. Let's see what else happens. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Drop a comment down below.